kids. It's your good buddy Mark Miller here. I think today might be our last day without Rory. I think next Tuesday we'll be back. Rory will be back with us. I think I should pay attention to more email, numbers and emails, things like that. We're going to get back into working on the our interactive training spike today, where we are trying to create interactive training inside Visual Studio. That's what we're trying to do. So we're kind of playing in that space. I'm taking the approach that I do on a lot of projects where I just kind of sculpt it. I kind of have an intuitive sense of where we need to go. I follow the intuition. We try it out, see if it works, and if it does, good. We move on. If it doesn't, we keep refining. Sometimes we'll hit it hard in reverse and go back and take another path. That's what we do. This is kind of where we left off yesterday. I'll give it a quick run, show you where we are. Yesterday we worked out decoupling our model, basically being able to extract the model, convert from a flow document like this into a model, and then go back into the flow document. That's what we did. So if I hit load model, this will load the model we saved yesterday, which is going to have a number of these highlighted in green, and I think a number of these buttons as well. Let's see what happens when I hit load model. There we go. So that's it. And there's data that's hidden inside of this. So this data says, this is my own text 0 right there. Hold on a second. Right now, I was just hitting the zoom in button. I just realized zoom in is not starting up automatically. That's what I wanted to do, is get right in there on that 0. So that's the 0 there. If we come down here and click it, there's 1. Whoops, sorry about that. And then down here, that's a 2. And I think down here should also be a 1. So we copied this text and pasted it down there, and that secret data stayed with the copy. So we're managing to store secret data with the text in the highlight, and we're storing secret data in the images as well, and persisting that secret data. That secret data is shown when I hover over it. You can see both the file name and then the words, can you see this, in the hint, and that's what's showing up there. Okay, so that's what we did yesterday. Today, I want to integrate. Well, I think I want to do this. We'll see. We may change plans, but I want to integrate the callout that we created a while back in a separate show. I want to integrate the callout into this UI. So that when we move the caret into a highlighted region, I want the secret data to appear in the callout and the callout to come in and format it, because that is, or to point at it. That is similar to the behavior that I'm looking for. So let's kind of go into that space. Now, to support that, I'm going to need a callout text editor. So I think I guess we'll build that first. So this will be like a secret data editor. We're going to, I think, drop over in this space here, just for now. Now this is kind of a spike. Not final UI, but I'm using this to demonstrate and to explore basic functionality. So there will be a place to edit, but it's unlikely to be grouped in this space with these buttons, that sort of thing. So there will be a way to do that. And I'm like I said, I'm piecing this all together. So let's maybe grab the toolbox. Gonna get a text box. Going to be faster. Tony Gorilla! And look at this. Coding Gorilla, how you doing? It's that time of day. This just popped up. I got something called Broker running out of my temp folder. Publisher Xamarin, what are you doing, Xamarin? What are you doing? What is this? I don't even know what I did to start that up. I brought up the toolbox, is what I did. We're going to do a big fat no thank you on that for now. We'll see what happens later if we need that. All right, text box. And can I drag this in a rectangle? Oh! I am such a good dancer because of this show, kids. Jetsam, I think we lost your fanfare, buddy. You came in with a party instead. We'll play that later maybe for you. Okay. Boom. Boom. I love that fanfare, that party always coming in with that extra surprise bang at the end. Okay, I'm having trouble dragging this down. I just want to move this down. What's my problem here? I got a height and width on the text box. Oh, I see. We just need a margin. Okay, let's do like an M20 here. And that looks pretty good. Okay, so this is going to be our, well, let's give it a name. A weird suggestion for a name, stack panel. We'll call this TBX. Call out like that. I think that's what I'll call it. Let's give it a, I think we need an on-changed event handler. It's going to be text change, I think. There it is. New event handler. Now, when the text changes here, well, we need to know if it's happening internally or not. Internal text change, like that. And then we're going to check down here and say, hey, if it's true, then get out. All right, so I think that's enough to run. Let's run it, and then we'll fill in the rest of the code to make this work. So what we wanted this text to do is show the secret hidden text. And then if we make a change to it, we want it to then change that secret hidden text. So that's what we want to do. We need to figure that out and make sure not only do we have that working, but also that code is relatively elegant. So that's what our goal is. Am I hitting run yet? I think there's an event on TBX test. Not the one I wanted to go to. I wanted to go to, let me just tab the next reference. I was just thinking it was showing up a lot of times in here. Get us out there faster. There it is. Highlight changed. Selection changed. Highlight changed is what we want. I want to go look at highlight changed. And then we're going to come down here and we're going to say, so here we're currently setting the title, and now we're not going to do that anymore. Now what we're going to do instead is we're going to say, what is it? Text change internal text changed is equal to true. Put this in a try finally block and set that to false. Whoops. Set that to false. There. And here we're going to say TBX callout dot text is equal to the new data. Actually, I'm going to pop all of this out. I'm going to put this here and the else, I'm going to bring the else in here. Like that. Okay, so no matter what, we're going to, and sorry, I meant to take this and bring this down to here. Okay? Okay, so when the highlights change, that means the highlight selection is, the highlight change means we've got a new highlight active. Highlighted range activated. I feel like I've got the wrong name on this event. Highlighted text activated. What I think I should call that. Okay, so all that's the same. Let's go back over here to the XAML, make sure that XAML is okay. It looks okay. Let's build it and see what happens. Okay, I think we're okay. All right, good. Just rename that as well. Okay, it didn't rename it there. Huh. All right. All right, let's run. All right, so here we're getting text changed at the very, very beginning. Let's call stack flag. Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Put a breakpoint there, run it. Let's come back up here now. We're going to say internal text change is equal to true. And let's try finally that, and then set it to false at the end. There it is. Okay. Run it again through the breakpoint. All right, so now internal change is true, no big deal. Okay, now it's up. Let's load the model that we saved from yesterday. Now let's put the caret in paragraph. All right, internal text change is true. Cool. So now there it is. We can see the text right there. This is my own text, 1. Next, I want to come in and be able to change it. There's my breakpoint still there. I just hit enter. No, enter's not accepted. Okay, I'm hitting space then, fine. And now I've added a space to it. That's going to be false, so it's going to keep going. And now what we want to do is say we want to update the active selection. So we want to do T. Now here's, I'm not sure how we're going to do this. I'm thinking something like this. Let's try that, see how well we can make that work here. So we'll declare this the text for active highlight. First step is we've got to get the active highlight. And I think I have code in here already to do this. Text selection highlight. the start and end of the selection, creates a text range, gets the background property color. If it's a brush, we get its unique GUID. So essentially, this is kind of close to what we want. So maybe we want something that looks like this instead. Just kind of refactoring this. I want something that says, hey, well, hold on. Yeah, I think I want something like this. Active GUID is equal to get active highlight GUID. Like that. And that thing, we're using like property value. Nope, just there. We're using text range anywhere else? Nowhere else. And then end and STA, start. Okay. Let's change that to start. Let's do this. Let's declare that. Let's put that back in there. We need a little bit more code from down here. I'm just copying it for now. I'll come down there and clean this up in a second. So if it's a solid color brush, then we're going to say right here, just simply return this. Otherwise, we're going to say return GUID.empty. Exactly. All right, that looks like that's going to work. Next, down here, we want to say, hey, if active GUID, we want a line of code like this, up above, like that. So if flat out active GUID is GUID empty, then we're now out. Otherwise, this is gone, right? I just want to make sure we did that call. Yeah, there it is right there. That call is here. That's what we're returning if we're not empty. We're returning that value. So if that's the case, so we don't need this block. We need active GUID here. And now I think Hector HSC!
Hector HSC!
Welcome! I love that I can tell when people come in. Like I just hear the sound and I'm looking at the code and I know Hector's here. Hector, welcome. How you doing, buddy? You know, I don't know if you know this or not, but Jetson's in and we missed his fanfare, and here's what his fanfare looks like. It's coming right in from over there. It's a lot of wind. It's blowing me away. Help! Help!
He's in the house.
You're doing great. That's good. That's good, Hector. That's what we're talking about. Excellent. Okay, so let's see. Where was I? If active GUID is last highlighted GUID, then we get out. Highlight GUID changed. That was so fun. Where's my birthday fanfare? Is it your birthday today, Jetsam? Do we have the closest I think I got to a fanfare is for birthday fanfare is
You won.
this one. Jesus. Okay. Happy birthday, Jetsam. 29 again. So amazing how you keep doing that. All right, so let's look at this again. The hold on. I want to kind of go in, look at this, what this was before. If it's solid color brush, fine, and we get out. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. I'm just looking at the old code here. Yeah, it looks like it can be simplified. Also, I'm noticing we're not setting last highlighted GUID in this code. Are we setting it elsewhere? In highlight GUID change. Perfect. Okay, which is called from right there. Oh, I understand this. Okay, this kind of goes up in here now. It looks kind of more like this. That's maybe a little easier to see. Okay. If active GUID is empty, we're there. Otherwise, we've done that line and this like this with active GUID. All right, so that refactoring makes this block of code easier to understand, I think. Certainly simpler. So now we've got get active highlight GUID. So first step in here, set text for active highlight is this: get the active GUID. Active GUID is equal to GUID.empty, then return. Now, with an active GUID, what do we do next? What's our sample code here for doing something with the active GUID? Well, we do call this highlight manager get highlight GUID data. We need a set GUID data in the highlight manager. So down here, highlight GUID data. Do we have a set one? I hope we do. Uh-oh. It doesn't look like we have one. All right, so we'll have to create it. Maybe I'm going to call this, well, all right. Maybe I'm going to call this data. Like that. Uh-oh. Okay, set highlight GUID data. Looks like it's going to be this. And it's just going to be that is equal to data. Now, before we totally get out of here, what's this? Ah, we just got the set. All right, let's just use the set command. It's already there. We use that. Okay, let's continue running and see what happens. Clear the breakpoint. And so we are going to, let's see, click over here, click there, click back here. So we're in paragraph. We are in the paragraph word. Highlighted word paragraph. Like that. Now, let's click away, click back in. Okay, good. So it's storing that data. Accepts returns is something I want to add to this because it's not accepting the returns. Let's do that. Accepts return is true. Now I should be able to hit enter inside of here. Good. Like that. And so the experience...
7, where are you? We need your help.
This guy! Where's Yanisku 7? There he is, he's coming! Right up there! Steve! Just in time, too! Oh my gosh, that was close. And Yoda, everything is okay now. The universe is safe. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Okay, so that's all good. Let's save the model. Let's clear the model. Let's load the model. Let's click in paragraph. Sweet. So now we have that ability to change that data very quickly, which is what we need to do. We need to be able to change it. Is it call out time? I think it might be call out time right now. When I click on it, oh wait. Oh wait. This is copied. These two are tied together. Because I copied them, I copied the GUID. Hey, Janisku, it wouldn't be you without this. That guy. Oh, man. He got me. Oh, beat me out of here. That's awesome. I think I got a crashing app somehow, and I don't quite understand why. This app shut down today too, and it shut down yesterday, and I'm not sure why. But I just restarted it, and let's refresh the. It looks like we don't need to. It looks like we're okay. All right. Okay, so this, I'm just looking at this. So I copied this to here, and then I made a change, and the problem is that this is the same color. It looks to the same GUID. It will forever be linked together, the same, even if you change the text. Yeah. I'm kind of okay with it because although you really don't want to copy, you do want to cut. And if I cut, I definitely want to keep it. All right, so if I were to, if this is my new one right here, if I cut that, I want to keep it. Kind of works. It's interesting. I'm noticing on the new machine, there's actually more delays in moving me around. It could be due to updates in OBS. It could be. I feel like I gotta, if I really want this to work well, I gotta talk to the OBS devs and convince them to prioritize synchronized playback of videos. And another thing I want is when they trigger the event that says, hey, we've just played a video, I want them to tell me what time they actually started playing it at. So, yeah, it works now, Genescu7. Thanks for helping us try that out. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about this too much for right now. All right, so the editing experience is looking pretty good. I think we go here, come back here. All right, good. Next, let's save the model. Actually, this isn't true anymore. Okay, there's the save. There's the clear. There's the call to load the model. All right, cool. Next, I want to integrate. I want to integrate the callout. And in case you haven't seen the callout, it's this guy over here. And is it working? There it is right there. So that's the callout thing. That's the code I want to integrate. The callout, I right now got in this ultimate callout project. And what I ended up doing is I ended up moving the files I needed over into the CodeRush source code file structure. And I essentially created a branch off of the code that we created before that did this. And so in this project here, Ultimate Callout, every single file reference in here is a linked file. And instead of manually setting all these up and navigating out, I'm hoping that we can edit the project and get the links, which appear to be all here, and just copy this. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm like kind of really hopeful. I might have to create the structure, the folder structure out there. See, they've got this folder called helpers and UI. I might have to create that. I don't know if that's virtual or not. We'll find out like really quickly here. We'll find out if this works. Let's see if we can do this. Edit the project file. Okay, that's all good. Yeah, kids, you know, I may not be the best coder in the world, but one of the best coding dancers in the world. Yeah, you know it. All right, so let's see if we can paste that in and see what happens. See what kind of dangerous stuff we get into here by just taking this and doing that. Okay, I'm going to hit save. Wait, looks like we knocked something out here. And indented with 2 spaces. Okay, I'm gonna hit save, close it down. What's gonna happen in our magic world? Oh my goodness, look at that. It's virtual. Sorry, not images. Themes came in. UI came in. There's our ultimate callout. All of that looks awesome. Okay, good. The only thing we're going to need to do is we need to get the namespaces. So these namespaces, I've now changed them to adopt the CodeRush file structure namespace conventions. So that's the mouthful there that we're going to have to use to show the ultimate callout. Let's go do that in our highlight text activated piece here. Let's do a using frm ultimate callout dot show, I think. Do callout. The markdown text is going to be e.newdata.data. The target, we kind of need to get the rectangle. Highlighted text activated. What's inside here? The new data is what? Just data and ID. That must be the GUID. Okay, so it brings in the data ID, but it doesn't tell us what the rectangle is. And that's what I need, is I need the rectangle. I need the rectangle for the highlight. All right, let's see if we can make that happen. Wait, did I do this right? This is not what I want. That's the shape. I want it erect, I think. Let's try that. Okay. I think we'll pass in the rect here. I think we're going to pass in the rect here. And this one is going to be last highlight rect. I think. Means we're passing it in here. Okay. I think down here, by the way, we're going to say this is equal to rect. Like that. Then we're going to, whoops, declare that as a field. Like that. Okay, sorry, we were coming down to what? The call? Okay, here we go. I think we're going to need a separate call. Guess what? You're right. It's my show! All right, this is going to be rect empty here. There's nothing going into highlight there. This, we need essentially a call to like get active highlight rect. That's what we got there. Get active highlight rect. Now, this is where my knowledge of this is just, I start getting into guessing zones right here on this. Yeah, happy birthday, Jetsam. Uh-oh. I'm gonna go for a walk. Everything's gonna be fine. Just a little birthday walk. You might want to go a little faster. What the? Whoa! What button goes fast on this? I like the freeze frame in that big explosion moment, right? All right, kids. Making a lot of to do about nothing. Okay, get active highlight rect. How do we get the rect? Let me just search for the word rect in here. It's just us. So far, just us. Oh, what's this? Yeah. When Jetson turned to mechs. This get character wrecked is, I think, going to be helpful to us. I think and I hope. It seems to need an inline. This is looking specifically for content start and content end. But I think it's close. Can we do this with just a text pointer? Ah! Look at that! Oh my goodness. Okay. That's potentially cool. So now we want to say return new rect, and what are we passing in? There's size 0.1 and 0.2. So we'll say start rect dot, got a top left.
Filler!
Where's Rory? Rory's not here. He's not here this week. He's taking this week off. I think he's going to be back next week. Pretty sure about that. But in case you're missing him, this is what his fanfare looks like. That's what it's like when Rory's here. A lot of Rory going like, hey, Mark, what if you tried it this way? And Mark going like, oh, I should have thought of that. It's a lot of that goes on. He's here even when he's not here. That's right. He's here when he's not here. All right, so let's get this line of code working right here. I think, who's Rory? Is not found. Yeah, that's right. Start rec. Okay, top left, and then we're going to go to the end rect dot bottom right. And I think that's going to get it for us. That's what I think. There's a shot of that. So there we are. Highlight good changed. Are we missing anything? To be honest, I kind of lost track of it. Yep, look at this. I messed these two up. Okay. So that's going to now generate these with the rectangles. Those are the rectangles. The rectangles should be in coordinates relative to the text box. They're not screen coordinates, they're local, so we'll have to adjust that on the way out. Let's see what my build is. You got an error? FRM ultimate callout .xaml.cs. Oh, do we lose the XAML? What happens when I do show all files? This is linked. Huh. Looks like I missed the XAML. Yep, it's not in this group, it looks like. Let's see, is it somewhere else? Aha! Oh-ho! Item group page include. We're going to get on that. Okay, so copying that. I love that I'm able, by the way, to edit the project files so easily. Really, really nice. All right, come down over here. This page include, just waving here. All right, Fred. Okay, buddy. There you are, buddy. You stay down there, buddy. There's lots of cars. Where's my pointing? There it is, right there. You stay down, buddy. Stay underneath there, okay, buddy? No, he's not. Uh-oh. My Stream Deck just totally died. It rebooted. And doing that locking thing. Wow. All right. I want to go see this page include. It's inside an item group. Oh, whoa, we've got several of them actually. These are all important. Take all of them, paste them in, save. All right. Is there a format option here? Yeah, it looks like there is. Okay, save, close. What else we got in a build? Any other problems? Oh, got the nullable problem. This is kind of like I'm going back and forth on this. So we're getting. What's this though? Let's go look at this. We're going to ignore the nullability here. Okay, yeah, I was in the middle of doing some stuff. See what I'm saying, guys? I'm like one of the best dancing coders on Twitch. I really think it's true. See what I'm saying? You just can't get this kind of coding and dancing anywhere else. That's what I'm talking about, kids. I don't see Jeff Fritz doing a lot of dancing on his show. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. Okay. What do we got? We got a rectangle property now. Need a parent window. That's going to be a this. The rect, target rect, we need to kind of adjust this a little bit. Target rect is equal to, what is it? Client, oh come on, what is it? Screen, point to screen? I guess we got to do that. All right, so we're going to come down here and say new rect. And we're going to pass in 2 points. They're going to be our screen points, top left and bottom right. Okay, there's my target rect. There's the point to. And let's just see if that works. See what we get. There's no cleanup here. There's no kind of sense of a singleton. Looks like we didn't build. What's my problem? Where's the carrot? Oh, here. Okay. All right, try again. All right, load the model. You want to dance more, ass pudding? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What did I get here? File not found exception. Can I load the file or assembly? DevExpress CodeRush Visual Plugins. I don't even know why you need an assembly. Where are we? Ooh. Yeah. I think I need standalone testing to be defined. I think that's what I need to do. Everybody be cool. Cool, I said. Cool it, everybody. We need to go define that. Projects. Just got a text from someone in my company that started, Houston, we have a problem, with a link to some stuff. And I'm very curious about that link. Where is that? Hold on a second. Just a whole bunch of work to do. That's all it was. All right, fine. Okay, back over here. Standalone testing. We want to get, where's my project settings? I think. Hopefully that'll solve that problem for me. Try that. See if we get any luckier with that resource finding. Hopefully that'll work. Really would be nice. Load the model. Look inside. Still didn't get it. Oh, there's my problem. The standalone testing isn't the application called Ultimate Callout anymore. Okay. So we need to push this even further. Do another NDIF down over here. What happened here? Not sure what that is. Okay, so this one's going to be called not standalone testing, but interactive sandbox. Interactive training sandbox. That's that one. Let's go back to properties. Becomes interactive training sandbox. Save it. Then we have to fix this. And this becomes document editor sandbox, I think. I think that'll do it. I hope. Let's see if that works. These are my least favorite problems to solve, because they often involve, like, there's sometimes some guessing, it seems like. What is wrong? Something wrong with my if and else's, I bet. Yeah. What did I mess up here? If this, then else that. Do one thing. I just want to do this and make sure everything's still okay. Nope, we lost one of the else pieces there. Okay. So I think it was down here. Oops, missed the beginning as well. All right. That's my else ending brace, I think, that I lost before. Nope, actually, that was actually right, lined up in the right spot. Hey, 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 hey. That's what I said. I said, hey, hey, hey. I said, hey. Whoa, that's my car. Wow. Holy cow. What are we doing here? Is not null here. That's fine. I'm not worried about that. Let's try running now. See if we get any luckier. Any luckier. Oh, we kind of got something. Okay, no text is loading up, and it's pointed to the wrong spot. Wow, we even got to an exception we never thought we would reach. I think we're missing some data is what I think we're missing in terms of this. Let's stop it a second and see what we can do to make that a little happier. I wonder if the target rect. Let's set a breakpoint and see what that target rect is. I want to make sure it's got width and height. That's all making sense. Oh. The bottom left, the top left, and the bottom left are identical. Oh, because it's on the selection. Oh, I'm sorry. I just realized we based this on some premises that were incorrect. We have to go find the triggering of this. Here. Yeah, we're doing it based on the selection. That's not what we want. We want to get the whole run that selection is in, I think. Is that true? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we could simply inflate the rect. This isn't get active highlight rect. This is get active selection rect. Maybe it's enough. Let's see. I'm thinking about just doing an inflate on it. And is inflate something that returns? No, it just changes it. Okay, cool. We'll do that. That's get selection rect on highlight changed. Looks to that event. Then we get in here. So if new data is not null and rectangle is not equal to rect.empty. Dot. Okay, let's try it again. By the way, the fact that we didn't get that error that we got before, I think means that it's loading in. Okay. Pointing the wrong space. Still get to here, this problem. And the data seems like it's just throwing empty data. There's nothing inside of it. Let's see if we can figure out those problems. Set breakpoint here again. Run it. Load the data, load the model, click in here. What's my target rect? Still got a 0, width on it. I thought we were gonna. The new data rectangle is all entirely empty. And that's somehow not equal to rect.empty. What's happening? How much of the call stack do we have? Here. Get active selection rect really is, I don't even understand how that's turning all zeros. Close it and try again. Uh-oh, execution engine exception. I don't even know what that is. I think I did F10. All right, let's stop it. Let's start it again. Get back in here. Load model. Click. Got a decent character rect here. Got the exact same character rect here. That makes sense because it's just a single point in the selection there, but still non-zero values. And we're inflating, returning an actual valid rect. That's going into highlight good change. What's wrong with this? What's going on here? There's my old data. Last highlight rect. Okay, cool. Here's my new data. Get highlight good data. Oh, did we not wire it up here? Did we not wire it up here? That's where we failed, guys. Sorry about that. Rectangle is equal to rect. You know, it's kind of important to do that wiring. All right, good. Run. Run. That's a little better. I'm going to say a lot better, actually, except for I still have no text. Well, wait a second. The text is actually appearing to be empty. No, we are in the highlighted text. That should be firing out. Let me add a little bit of text right here. Through this breakpoint. Nope, that's not making a difference in terms of what it's sending out. I guess let's step into it. Okay. Did I miss it? I think I hit the wrong button. Wrong keystroke. Okay. F11. Create new call out. Width is 200, angle 45, theme is light, font size is 12. That feels pretty decent. The markdown text is there. That markdown text looks correct to me. I don't think that's going to mess it up. Dendel! Thank goodness you're here, buddy. Thank goodness you're here. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not showing anything inside of it. We're gonna have to keep going. We have to keep going and going and going and going. Dendel says, general tech question: how hard is it supposed to be to get a consumer grade onboard network adapter to work in freaking Server 2022? It also says, thank goodness I'm here, in my opinion. How are we all? Is Copperbeardy out there? Oh, Copperbeardy's there. Copperbeardy, welcome. Copperbeardy kids. Let me get out of the way. You can see some magic right here. Copperbeardy has the passion for growing sunflowers. My wife loves the sunflowers too, by the way, Copperbeardy.
Copperbeardy is in the house.
All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm not sure what's wrong with this. I'm passing what seems to be good text. It doesn't even seem to be laying it out. Let's go find out where it does the laying out of thing that it does. I think it starts in create callout. Somewhere in finalize and show. What do we got in finalize and show? Lay out everything. I think there's a hook to loaded. Load markdown viewer. Markdown viewer loaded. Let's stop here. Oh, could that be it? Simple markdown viewer. Okay, nope, we're good there. Does this work? Okay. Calculated height is 28 of the flow document. Already this feels wrong. The flow document, calling it the flow document here feels like, I feel like the problem is here. There's flow documents coming back with what? How many blocks? I bet it's empty. Blocks? 2. All right, what you got for me in the blocks department, kids? 2 paragraphs. Well, that is kind of true. Right here. Windows says apparently MS opened their Swedish data centers late last year. So I've got to look into transferring all my Sweden-facing stuff to there. Okay. Let's see. What do we got in here? Do we have some inlines we can look at? 2 inlines. We have a text property down in here. No. Why no text property? Inline should be a run. All right, I think we got to get inside of this get document call. What we got to do. I'm going to get out of here, close this down, come back in here. Let's go into the get document and see what's going on here. Oh, wait. This flow document may already be set. Let's jump inside the simple markdown viewer. Let's see where it builds it. Let's hook into the building of the document, see what's going on with it. Create flow document from markdown. That's, I think, where my breakpoint needs to be. Okay, here we go. Font size looks good. Document style key is set there. I'm assuming that's going to work. Paragraphs, we're going to break this into paragraphs. And we have what looks like 3 paragraphs. Got some /R's in there. Okay. We're going to call add paragraph. Trim the text. Starts with a list item. We'll do that. Otherwise, we're going to create a new paragraph. Set heading style. Okay. In paragraph text is still there. I'm so sad I missed the na again. Yeah, I know, but that's the problem is, you know, you got to be in here. Otherwise, there are consequences. Like, you know, what the? What? I said there were consequences! Get out of here, Saul! Get up! Get up! Get out of there. Have some salt, everybody. A little more salt. Come on, come on. Okay, sorry, we're down in here. Is it bold? No, it's not bold. Text runs, we're going to split this by the bold delimiter. We've still got just 1 text run, I think. There it is. Paragraph inlines, add the text run. And that's it. The text run is there and its text property is set. This one we can get a text property on. Yeah. We're in the highlighted text. It's got the quote. It's got the / quotes, but that shouldn't be have any impact on this. Pudding says, this is my favorite fanfare by far. It only beats Drowning Murky with Pudding by a little. Come on, guys. Come on. Paragraph inlines add. Okay. Then bold is not bold. Fine. Documents add paragraph. So we add that. Clearly. There's another one that we added, which I think was just empty, is what I think it was. And here we go. I'm gonna go over here.
Certainly does.
I'm just gonna go right over here on my portable pumpkin. No, we haven't had pumpkins in the stream yet, Shirley. Shirley, if you were here yesterday, played an awful prank on my daughter. My daughter comes in from school and she's like, "Are you doing your show?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Can you mute?" I go, "Mute." And then she starts saying, "I heard that you..." just like that. That's what she looked like. There's Weird Beard Deb over there coming in. Anyway, she's talking to me, and I'm like, oh, yeah, well, maybe I did that, and maybe I did that too at her school. And anyway, she's like, Then she leaves, and meanwhile, Shirley's like, he types in Mark, and it goes, Miller, right in my ears. I'm like, what? He's like, your mic is on. We can hear you. It's not muted. It was muted. It was just a prank. And I said, oh, no. And then Gia came back, and she was like, what? No! Like that. Gia's got a fanfare. This is her fanfare. That's Gia's fanfare. Right there. Made that for the Beast build 2022. So far the Beast is okay. It's not bad. It hasn't solved the synchronization problems yet. I really think I'm going to have to work with OBS developers to get the synchronization problem solved. And I'm a little bit like, I tried. But the machine's definitely faster, so I like that. But the synchronization didn't kick in. In fact, if anything, we see the movement of me around sometimes stops and then picks up again. Like, what's going on with that? No code changes on our side, so. All right. This flow document looks relatively decent. Why aren't we seeing it? I don't understand. Resume callout construction. What are we doing there? Well, there we clear it. Calculate bounds, guideline intersection, create callout frame. Place close button, layout text, unload markdown viewer. Callout height is 28. The callout height seems low right here. Wait, why isn't it set? There. Well, that's the dummy one. There. We should check that. Calculated height. Here. We should be right in on that and figure out what's going on with the calculate flow document height. That was kind of funny. Yeah, it was kind of funny. I thought it was really funny, actually. I was like, it was a brilliant use of technology to punk me and to punk Gia. Like, brilliantly done. He essentially fished me into believing that my mic was on. Maybe he didn't fish me, but he definitely got me. I can't believe we're being thwarted by this weird thing. All right. Calculate flow document height. Whoa, we got out of there. We got two blocks. Both of them had infinity on their character width and height. Is it really like down to the data I'm sending? Somehow there's something going on with the data I'm sending that's blowing this up. It makes not a lot of sense to me. Let's change it to something simple and see if... Hello, world. Like that. Nope, not any better. And if we add multiple lines to it, it doesn't change the height of this at all. Like the finger wagging from behind the curtain, yeah. Then it says, blah, this is an Intel onboard NIC. I just downloaded a package with every single Intel NIC driver on it, and it's still not working. Yeah, I hate it when that happens. I hate it when that happens. That is not my favorite at all. What's blowing my mind about why this isn't working, this is the thing I don't get about this, is that this code is all coming from one place. There's not much difference. Well, let's, I guess, start investigating the differences. What are the differences in it? There's no difference to the regular code. It's just in how we're calling it, maybe in what we're doing beforehand. We're kind of calling it real simply here. We're not passing in a couple other parameters. Let's go look for this in the other Ultimate Callout standalone app. Look at where we create it. It's right here. Huh. Okay. So we're passing in, okay, yeah, we're passing in an actual rectangle instead of a rect. So we could kind of work around that and pass in PBX test like that. And then what's next? Oh, and it doesn't need the parent in that case, right there. So just the target is a framework element and with an angle. Let's see if changing it to that works better. I don't know. I'm not anticipating this is going to make a big difference. Nothing even appears now. Oh wait, look at this. What is happening? What is happening?
Going off rails!
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, kids. What else are we passing in here? The width,
Force and ignorance!
the angle, the theme, the font size. Fine. You know what? I'm going to take all of these and throw them in and just see if none of this makes sense to me. All this should work without any additional parameters. Let's see what we got here. Let's make the width be 400. The angle, fine with it being 45. The theme is going to be equal to, I think, theme dot light. And the font size is going to be like, say, 30. Like that. See what happens now. Hot reload. No change. And yet this guy still works? Wait. It doesn't work anymore? What did we do? There's only one change we made in the code.
That's a bug.
Yeah, you're right. There's only one change we made in the code. And that was in that load line right there. Oh, we just lost music for the first time. Okay. think there might have been another clue. I think when we just lost music, the boombox wasn't there. I think it was totally gone. The frogs one we can switch to because Fred isn't in the frog scene, and we can do that the next time we lose music to see if the boombox has completely disappeared. Because what happens is we have one sprite that's the boombox, and it fades out when it's done, and then another sprite that's the boombox that fades in with a new song. Okay.
That's a bug.
That's a bug. All right, so we got to figure out. Thanks for that. That's a bug. Do we just not have? Oh, we don't have the drone game on. That's a bug. That's a different issue. Okay, not a big deal. We just need to add drone game onto that. Okay, let's get to the code that changed. Let's go look at it. What? There's like a lot of stuff I didn't check in. Is that what happened? I can't quite tell yet if there's differences here or not. They're marked as different, but they look identical to me so far. Well, wait. Oh, we got formatting issues. These two lines are the same. These two lines appear to be the same. Isn't there an option to ignore white space? There it is, right there. Okay, so now we can see a little bit better what happened. Okay, that's not good. Yeah, I'm on board with that. Okay, that was kind of my fault too. I hit Control KD. Let me go. I'm going to open up the CodeRush source code base because we have a different set of styles for that code base. I'm going to open up the file and Control KD it from there. We can just really see only the differences. FRM ultimate callout. Oops, I'm not sure what happened. Yep, it looks like I typed something in. FRM ultimate callout. So it's just loading up, so it's a little bit longer to find things because it's a big solution. All right. Has it reformatted it? Just by opening it up? It kind of looks like it has. What do we got now? No? Got a car driving in here. This totally looks right. It's not marking it as changed. What happens if I save it? What do we got? What is happening? Plugins, visualize callout plugins, callouts, UI, FRM callout.xaml. Visualize plugins, callouts, UI, FRM, ultimate callout.sample.cs. It's the same. Here, I guess, do I have to make a change in here? And now save it? Oh, interesting. It's not. I was in my head, I had the whole thing backwards. It's that it was in the old style and we changed it to the new style. All right, fine. I'm just going to go through and get to the point where we made the change. Hopefully I'll still be able to spot it quickly. Let's go, hold on. Let's go over, open it up from here. Joseph says, just finished lunch. So what I missed? Go back about an hour. Well, right now we're trying to find out what's changed because we made some change and it's totally broken the call it. I think we've only made one line of change here on it. That's what I think. Dang, dang, dang. All right. The change. Oh my gosh. All right, let's look for it. If def. There it is. Here's the place where I think we made a change. We made this change. This line of code is the only kind of line of code that I know that it's changed. We essentially added this. If interactive training sandbox, then we do this. Otherwise, we have the old code that was ran from here to here. There's no other changes that I know of that we've made in this space. Nothing certainly intentional. So that should have been plenty of time to make a birthday fanfare. Yeah, I could do it in about an hour, but I wasn't working on that. Sorry.
You won! It's a brand new car!
You won a brand new car. That's amazing.
Dance battle!
But to win it, to get it, you'll have to dance off with me. That's right, kids. Where you learn how to code and how to dance. All right. Let's do this. We need to solve this problem here with the braces. And I thought I had this option set so that it was going to go down to the next line. And at this point, I'm not sure who's responsible for it. See what we can do here. I'm going to bring up the CodeRush options and so CodeRush has got it right. I think Visual Studio may have a default setting that's overriding this, maybe. That's what I'm getting here. So yeah, it does, Coding Gorilla. It should. The answer is yes, it should. I know we had a discussion about this, and it was a major update, I think, in the last year. But yeah, it should. Respect the editor, got config settings. Well, What happens if we wrote right now? If I do code cleanup on this, I'm going to organize members too. I don't want it to change order of any members in here. Turn off organized members. Let's see what happens now. How bad does it get? It didn't bring these down. I'm feeling like there's a Visual Studio option that's taking priority over it. What are you doing? Text editor, C#, code style, formatting, new lines. What everybody, wait, if everybody's in sync with it, why are the braces going to the end? Is it because we've got an editor config? I don't think so. All right, I'm kind of going to give up on this path. I'm coming back over into source tree. I'm going to go through every single one of these and verify that it's only that change. Fine. Stage hunk. Only that formatting change. Stage hunk. Uh-oh. Patch failed. That doesn't look good at all. Let me make sure Dropbox is paused till tomorrow. All right, stage that. Try again. Still not doing it. Am I just kind of like cursed to not find this solution? Oh my God. All right, I'm just now, my last ditch backup plan here, which is to simply scroll through, visually compare each difference. There should have been none in here. That's the alternate reality my mind can't seem to let go of. All these are the same. All these are the same. Good, good, good. Why would this suddenly stop working? Whatever it is, it's a small change. It's likely to be a very small change. Okay, that's just the brace moving. Some window, brace moving, brace moving. Brace, brace, brace. It's okay. It's okay. I saw him jump out. It's Frackberg! How you doing, Frackberg? Fred says hi. I'm as blue as you are, Fred. You believe it? There's a fanfare I haven't seen in a long time. A long time. Frackberg's so busy, he just says busy. Okay, still scrolling down. But wanting to lurk a bit. No worries. Welcome. And thanks for saying hello, Frackberg. Okay, scrolling down, almost at the end. We're at the whole end. Okay, so we just went through that whole thing. I didn't even see my other changes. Are they in another file? Huh. I didn't see the changes we made. Change something about the way the markdown's rendered? Seems like you mentioned that the other day. No, we ran it just at the start of the show. All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to unstage this. And I'm going to come into this guy, which I still am not understanding why this is happening. We'll find those if-defs. Where are you, if-defs? Thought you were here. Let's search for you. Pound if-def. Nothing. Where did we have you? Where did I make those changes, kids? I'm pretty sure they were over there in the CodeRush source code base. No files. Oh, it's not if-def, it's just if. Try again. If. There we go. So this is what I believe is the change that I made. Right here. Let's copy that, and we are inside. This is the thing that's blowing my mind. Right? We're inside FRM form ultimate callout.xaml.cs. Pretty sure we were looking at that here. Form ultimate callout.xaml.cs. I don't remember ever seeing this as a mentioned change. I'm going to just copy this to the clipboard right now, and I'm going to come down in here, and I'm going to say discard all those changes. That's what I'm going to do. Now come back over here. We're going to replace this block with the new one. Is it possible? Yeah, I don't know. It looks pretty much the same. Save all of that. And modifying white space or comments. Wait. Okay, that was just an error for a second. Hold on. Let's go back over here. What do we got now? Okay, that's what I was looking for. And let's go back to this guy. Let's run this guy. Make sure this guy runs. Now it works. Really? What changed? We'll never know. Okay, so that works. Now let's go back and run our guy. It's been running here. Let's do a load. And nothing up here. I think that's a separate, distinct problem. Let's go back and change it to... Oops, that's CodeRush source. Hold on. Here. Let's go back to where we were, where we're sending over out that target rect. And this second piece, and then we have width and angle as our options over here. Fine. Okay. Hot reload. And probably clear that breakpoint. If we have any better luck now with this. Okay. All right, fine. So now we can type, get this over here, some stuff, and let's bold that. And then down here we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, press enter. And am I remembering this correctly? I'm wondering if it's not the doubles. I think I may have only a single one to do bolding on this, but I think I did, because I didn't really care about italics at all. Okay. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, nobody knows what happened. It's kind of interesting how it kind of goes away as we get in close on some of these angles. I need to take a look at that. I think it has something to do with the size of the rectangle. That's what I think. Yeah, it's just getting in too close. Okay. Although I'm not seeing bold here. So maybe it is that I need to do 2. Try 2 and see what happens. That looks better. Okay. What else can we do? See what that does. Oh, shoot. I need to... Well, font size is something I can pass into it. Hold on. I'm going to do that. Theme dot light and font size will pass in 24. All right. Change my width to about 300. Good. Good. Now, what we should do is we should clean this up. Oh, wow, that was wild. Wow, it moved even further. It's when I got in close. Yeah, it's moving far away. And then it stopped. All right, looks like I've got some... yeah, there it is again. Look at that. It's so interesting because, you know, in the testing we did a lot of testing on this, and I've seen like a couple weird kind of behaviors that I haven't seen before, and I've done a lot of testing, not only in the standalone piece, but also inside Visual Studio. That's the craziest thing. Each time I bring it up, it seems to move even further away. Well, no, that time it didn't. I think it's not that. It's something else. Oh, there it's off screen now. Do it there. Huh. All right, let's go figure this out. This bug is certainly reproducible enough. See what we can find. Ultimate callout is here. Somewhere in here we've got a mouse up, I think. Waiting for mouse up timer. And that bug is bugging you. Yeah, it really is. Mouse up check right there. Get mouse is down, keep going. Otherwise we activate the parent window. Start animating towards target. Calculate window position. Code, it should be good. You should commit so that when you break it, you need to figure out what you broke. Fine, 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 fine. One thing I learned on this show is commit often. There it is right there. There's the commit. We're going to do that. Let's stage it. Added support for testing from the interactive training. Sandbox. Fine. We'll push commit, push all of that. Well, we won't push it. We're going to commit though. All right, there's my commit. Like voting, commit early, commit often. Yeah, it's a little bit like that. Okay, so we've committed that. Calculate window position. This is what's apparently failing. If I really, I didn't even pull up the mouse yet. I didn't lift that up. Isn't that a lot? All right, let's do something else. Let's do this. Let's keep track of, no, I mean, no. These dogs are too cute. Not what I meant. Oh, man. Okay, Wise man once said, choose your words carefully. Okay, I want to get a result out of this thing right here. And I want to turn this thing into a field variable. And I want to come in here and say, hey, if that's not null, then I want to call close on it, I think. Like that. After I do this, I think there's an event called closed. Yeah. Closing, closed. Like that. And at this point, when that thing closes, I want to set that to null. Like that. I'm stronger than Tiamat. Where things aren't weird at all. Right, Fred? Fred's like, not want to deal. Doesn't want to deal with any of this. It's not me, I promise. Okay. Reaper yeah, I need to work on my level. You don't have to work on your level, guys. Everybody's good. Weirdbeard, just for saying that, man, I'm going to give you a bonus. What do I do? I think it's that, and that, and that, and that.
Level up.
Or you're at level 7 now, Weirdbeard. What do we got? Ultimate callout is equal to null. Just give me a null. Just give me the null. Why would I want name up there? Okay. Get a network error occurred when I'm clicking on the README link. Is that really working? No. What? How much I gotta look at today. Great, I'm regressing. How are you regressing? I didn't even see that. Okay, so when this closes, we're going to null this out. You want me to make this nullable? Is that what you want me to make this? So all I'm doing is I'm just cleaning this up a little bit. So we're only going to have one at any one time. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm presuming that this call to close is going to get me right out to this space here immediately before we get into here and reassign. That's what I'm taking it to do. Let's just try that and see if that's cleaning that up. Wait, we're actually at 10? Is there a problem here? Downloading hack drivers for server install feels so-so. Yeah, don't do that. Hack drivers? That's scaring me now. I'm hella listening to Murky in the background while messing with this, by the way. Okay. Well, Dindal, when you scared me at hacked drivers. I'm not liking that. All right, let's load that up. There we go. Okay, run. I wanted the breakpoint here. Okay, that makes sense for that. Click away, come back, close, and we get right in there before we get to the next line, right? Yeah, okay, that's good. So all of that's looking good. So now we should be able to just do that. Now, if we click out of it, what's happening there? Do we get it activated, highlight text activated when we click outside? Clicking out now. We do. Where are we? Over here, I think what we need to do is have an else statement right there and then say if not null, then this guy.close like that. And then that will trigger this down here, setting it to null. We do that now, we click in. Hold on, let's clear the breakpoint. All right, we click out, it should go away. Click in, comes back. All right. Let me catch up with chat here. The 1219V doesn't have support for Windows Server 2022. But someone poked in the INF files because apparently it does work, only doesn't identify. I just read that VS 2022 version 17.2 finally has an autosave feature. It's when the whole app loses focus, but it's a start. Interesting. You can always manually select the driver, or you used to. Been a while, says Cody Gorilla. Okay. Come back over here. We're going to change this up. This is the first thing to look at. You need to look at, and then coming down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, press enter, and we're going to make that bold, and click away, click back. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's save the model. Let's see if we can find that problem. There's that problem right there. That's really crazy. Really crazy. Let's make sure that all persisted. Let's load the model back up. Yeah. Okay. It says you can, but it's still incompatible. Last try, or this thing gets Win 11 instead. Doesn't need to be a server install. Doesn't need. That's like all. There we go. There's one of the problem spaces right there. Okay, back at looking at that bug. See if we can find it. Start animating toward target should only be called when the mouse comes up. So if I move this down just a little bit and I release, there we go. Okay. And what's my top position now? 623 sounds about right in terms of its position, because the bottom of this screen on my 4-monitor setup is at y coordinate 0. So negative 643 is like, right about where it's pointing right now. That's the top position now, negative 623. What happens when we hit F10 over that? It's still that. Animate from. So it's going from this place, but actually that makes sense. Where's the new top going to be? Negative 100. Well, original top, negative 810. I'm not sure about this. It's been long enough that I don't even remember this anymore. You got the internet. It took me like an hour and a half. And your newly installed server just joined a DDoS botnet. Tyndall, why? Why did you use the hacked drivers? I don't care. It's online. It's online, kids. He doesn't care. All right, let's get serious about this. What's my delta top going to end up being here? Delta top. It's going down 510. So it's definitely wrong right here. So if we release that going down 510, it should take it down just below, like where these wheels are. Is that right? 520. Actually, yeah, far enough you won't be able to see it. It'll be down into the next monitor. Let me just run it and see if that's true. Yeah, we can just barely see it. Right down here. Dial-up days 300 baud. But it's on GitHub, so it must be okay, right? Who remembers X modem transfers? Those were the days. What's the difference between the X modem and a regular modem? Interesting. Okay. Little remembers null modem. So in the call to animate from, the delta top is got a window top and an original top here. Let's refresh my memory on what are these. Oh, they're just set here. I see. So the problem really is in the calculation of window top, it appears. I don't know if that's my problem space there, but I'll set a breakpoint there. That's my only assignment is there. There's the assignment. I don't quite understand the problem yet. Let me clear the breakpoint a minute. I want to go back to the ultimate callout and see if we can duplicate it there. Because why could, if we can't, what's going on? We are not duplicating. It is snapping into position. We are. Yeah, something definitely strange about it. I'm feeling like I'm gonna think about this for a little bit in terms of finding that bug. And I may go after that. I'm probably gonna go after that offline is what I'm thinking on it. I want to give it some thought and come back in. Because it's definitely the only difference between this and this is using a rectangle in space. There it goes. It just jumped away. Let me get one more thing up here. Same code, and update is running. I feel like most people would get valid hardware for their 1.5K OS, but screw it. It is legal, by the way. One of my MS partner licenses. Just saying. I don't think anybody thought anything differently. I wanted to go look at these guys. These guys work, and these guys are also pointing to a rectangle. What is going on about the world we live in? Come on. What's going on here? Yeah. The only other thing I'm thinking about is the rectangle. Yeah, it just disappeared. The rectangle size that it's pointing to is a little... It may be not as big as down here, so there might be a math error in that space. I don't know. It's definitely unusual that the same code base is... Yeah, it's the vertical that seems to be the problem too on it. If I move too high up here, yeah, there it is. It just popped away. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get a we're gonna get a raid going and send you out to somebody else. We'll see who's out there. Thanks so much, kids, for joining us. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Happy birthday to Jetsam. So glad you're here with us. I think the new car that Jetsam won is that one right going right. That guy right there. That's your new car, Jetsam. Dindal, good luck with the rest of your update out there. Cody Gorilla, thanks so much. And we'll see you next week, guys. Pudding, I like red. Thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Weird Beard Deb, thanks. Keep leveling up, Weird Beard. You're going to get there, buddy. Be able to do all the commands one day. Thanks again. Frackberg, also thanks for stopping by. Glad to see you. Where's my raid button? There it is over there. Let's see what we got to raid out here. I'm going to send you to Oh Bother, kids. I miss Rory. Yeah, I think he's going to be back next week. All right. Take care, everybody. Take care. And we will see you. What? Oh. Right in the middle. Hit that raid now button right down there. Right up there. There's your raid. Did it work? Did the raid work? Looks like I raided myself. Oh, maybe not. That's just my live over there. All right, kids. See ya.